In this video, we're going to discuss evaluating negative exponent expressions. All right, so we just talked about what our negative exponent is, so let's quickly review it. So remember, a negative exponent is just a shorthand for saying that thing should be on the other side of the division bar. So if there's not a division bar, we can make one and just move it to the bottom. If there is a division bar, we just kind of move it to the top. All right, but now we want to do this with actual numbers, all right, because chances are we're going to do it with a number when we're trying to do applications and stuff like that. So the only difference is we have to remember the definition of an exponent at the end, which is just repeated multiplication. All right, so 2 to the negative 3. Right away, I know I have a negative exponent, so I can rewrite it as a positive exponent. And so again, if there's not a division bar there, I can make one by putting it over 1. That way I can move this to the bottom. And now that it's a positive exponent, that makes sense with our general definition of exponents. That's just 3 copies of 2. And 3 copies of 2 is 8. So 2 to the negative 3 is the same thing as 1 over 8. So generally, you're going to kind of simplify as much as possible until you have your positive exponent, and then just use what a positive exponent is to get your final answer. 4 to the negative 2. All right, so this one's one for you to try on your own. All right, what is 4 to the negative 2? All right, I'll show you the answer in 3, 2, 1. And you get 1/16. All right, move it to the bottom, make it positive. This is 4 times 4 is 16. All right, so here's one where it's kind of like a special case of when it's a fraction with a negative exponent. So let's just do it the way you might try it at first. 5 over 8 to the negative 1, that's 1 over 5 over 8 to the positive 1. Right, we can make this all over 1. And then dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by its reciprocal, and we get 8 over 5. There's a bunch of different ways you can do this, but this is, I kind of want you to see the shortcut that we got by just knowing that 5 over 8 to the negative 1 ended up being 8 over 5. So the basic shortcut is when you have a negative exponent with a fraction, you just flip the fraction. Okay? Both of these want to be on the opposite side, so they're both going to flip and give me that difference. All right, so this is the basic notation. If I have a fraction raised to a negative, both of them are going to flip. I just get the reciprocal, the flip of that fraction. All right, so 3 over 2 to the negative 3. To get rid of this negative exponent first with this fraction, I flip it to 2 over 3. And that's going to turn it now into a positive exponent. So all I did first was kind of get rid of this negative by flipping the fraction. And then 2 over 3 cubed. I think there's 2 different ways you can do it. So let's show the 2 different ways you could do it. 2 over 3 cubed is just 2 over 3 times 2 over 3 times 2 over 3, which is 8 over 27. All right, so you can do the cubed from this definition, or you can kind of distribute this exponent to both. 2 cubed is 8, 3 cubed is 27. All right, you get the same answer. It's just depending on like when do you use the exponent. All right, so here's one for you to try on your own. 4 over 5 raised to the negative 2. All right, I'll show you the answer in 3, 2, 1. All right, first thing, negative exponent, flip it. Oops, actually flip it, so 5 should be on the top now. And 5 over 4 squared, I think about it as this. I get 25 over 16 for my final answer. All right, so quick summary. Again, negative exponents, I'm not going to say it enough. Negative exponents just flip a fraction. It just moves that term to the other side of the fraction. If it's already a whole fraction, it just flips the whole thing. And chances are you want to simplify till you can only have positive exponents first, and then use your exponents to get your final answer. Your final answer should not have exponents because you actually have numbers to work with in this case.